AGM coming in, and we're back. Freely drops and soap, while Dane's dropping facts. Mercenaries in underwear, they can stay put. We have football on our tongues, just minus a foot. Rugby league group showers while drinking Fifth Lane. And we're bringing this bullshit any given Monday. I said any given Monday. Yeah, any given Monday, baby. AGM in the house, any given Monday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that shit. It doesn't get much more professional than that, Freddie.
Oh, bro, man. Yeah, so obviously Prospects 01 wants us to tag us in that shit. But when I sent it to Keenan and he thought that you were doing the rap.
Yeah, I don't know. I back my rapping skills, but not off fresh lyrics. We just jotted it down like maybe I was like a copycat rapping. I don't know. I was thinking we'd get either you or Walshy to do it. I don't know. You like Eminem and Walshy listens to enough black rap as it is.
But yeah, you told me Walshy could rap.
No, like he listens to a lot of rap. So
he probably's bringing that Darwin rap.
Yeah.
He's like crocodiles and fucking a lot of penis.
Yeah. He's a weird creature, bro. I reckon he could have done it, but that's one of the things he would have pulled out his ass and come away with a good rap, old Walshy.
Yeah, well, he's got fucking the good rig. That's what started me on my kickstart now. Him and fucking, well, not even Jakey. Fuck Jakey. He was so blind the whole weekend. But but Walshy taking his shirt off, I was like, I got to sort my life out.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And when I was getting run off by the two under-18s boys that were there, I was like, fuck, I need to do something with my life. I'm getting pants here.
So we had our pre-season camp. I'd call it. It was like a really intense training camp into a Mad Monday. That's what I felt.
It was weird. Like, yeah, it definitely had the Mad Monday feel because we trained so hard. We literally trained for what? It would have been close to 4 hours almost straight.
So we had the beach for 2. Oh, the beach is something different, eh? Like it's fucking sweet, beach. And it's just that the drain on your calves.
Oh man, just even jogging to our spot, I was like, fuck, I'm rooted here. Like, my legs are heavy already. Just getting through this sand's such a pain in the ass. And then you get there, and you're up and down off the ground. You're
like wrestling each other.
Wrestling in the sand, sprinting on sand dunes and shit.
It's funny how Tommy's like, bro, you can't get any gayer than this. A bunch of guys, shirts off, wrestling, and then high-fiving each other. And then group swimming.
Yeah, and then at the end, we all just group up in our apartments and shower. Straight in the shower. No, it was good. We trained real hard. We got there in the morning. Everyone was had early start, so we got straight into it. We work hard on the beach. Everyone put in, and then we straight over to the field, and there was probably like a half an hour break in between, and then once we hit the field, it was 100% again.
Yeah, so. And 100% humidity.
Yeah,
Jonathan Thurston's 110% humidity, but he he wasn't there, but that my calves going from the beach to the grass, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, even on the grass, I felt heavy still because I don't know if it was just a heavy track or if my legs were that cooked.
Yeah,
I was just like, bro, this is fucked. Like,
yeah, I swear when we were running past, I was saying to some of the boys, the people, because the beach was busy because there wasn't much beach either because it must have had king tides recently.
Yeah, it was massive.
But I was thinking a lot of people have been thinking, fuck, the old Falcons are going to get a bit of a smash in this year.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a motley crew up there. There's some bigger bodies cutting around and a couple of custard rigs such as myself chucking scooting up the beach. But it's a good weekend. And yeah, as soon as we got off that training paddock, all the boys were just tonguing for it, and we all sort of knew. Everyone goes up with the expectation of getting pretty hammered. So like I just sort of let my hair down. I've been trying to like slow down on the massive nights, but then when you're going up the coast with your team full of footy boys for the night away.
Well, we're training for it.
And you're gonna put in a good innings,
But
so.
do you think it's so weird that we train so hard and then we just totally fucking disrespect ourselves?
Yeah.
It's like do we do any benefit at all, or it's the team bonding does?
Yeah,
like,
it was the bonding bit. That's what the whole weekend was for. But
It's
then
like-
again, you think about, imagine if we went and did that to ourselves without the training.
Yeah.
Imagine the amount of negatives there.
Which we would have done.
Yeah.
But especially, with Clint involved organising. But shout out to Clint and all those boys, man. What
Yeah,
they
everyone they
organised
put in
with
was
such a short fucking time was sweet. But it's like I've always thought about pre-season, especially like even not with the NRL boys and stuff. They fucking smash themselves. They don't get as much as a break as like Q Cuppers and that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you just like what you've gained? Do you think you fully? Obviously, you come up 100%, and maybe you go back like 50. But
Yeah.
I've always found it funny that the hard fitness is done before Christmas. Then you come back, you start to get into ball work and stuff like that. Where I think it should be the other way around. I think you should, after Christmas, then you start flogging them.
Yeah, well, you've sort of got the groundwork laid, and like a lot of those boys, especially in the higher grades, they would have kept some form of fitness, and the amount of fitness you'd need to keep kicking after Christmas wouldn't be anything like what you would do because you've already laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
So they get to this fitness level, and even if they lose a bit, just the bit of ball work and all the other shit they're doing would bring them back up to a sufficient level. And plus, by that point, when you're getting into trials and shit, it's more match fitness anyway. So like they're gonna have this base level of fitness, but then as soon as you hit trials, none of that shit matters because your match fitness starts kicking in, and you're into it.
But it's also then you've got your training pussies that have had their like regular ankle injuries and shit.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah.
sitting out. Then when trials and that come around,
Yeah,
they're all good.
They're all good to go.
And you can see they're fucking blown because they haven't been putting in.
And there was a fair few of that in the weekend of trials. Like the NRL just had 7 trials over 2 days this weekend, so that was a big weekend. But there was a lot of blokes doing that. They were busted, and a lot of blokes sucking in the big ones, especially now with all these new rule changes and shit. Some of the bigger boys in the middle are fucking finding it hard to get around the park after 10-15.
So the one of the bigger rule changes is, which it seems to be making a difference, is the one less scrum on when they kick it out.
Kicking it out. Yeah. So once the ball goes out into touch off a kick, instead of bringing it infield for a scrum, you get to play the ball, and you can choose where you have to play the ball, same as you can choose a scrum. So, which I the rule is a bit lopsided because it's meant to obviously speed the game up, but also the situation where a team's kicking for touch like that is sort of a situation where they're trying to get the ball out of play, and it's sort of it's disadvantaging the team that's putting in that good kick to get it to where they want it to be, and it's also disadvantaged the offense. Because now the offense has to come down and run off a play the ball instead of a scrum. If you're running off a play the ball coming out of your own 10-metre line, you've got a whole line of whole defensive wall. The front row is going to bash the first winger that comes at them. Whereas if you're coming off the back of a scrum, you got 6 defenders covering 65 metres of field.
Yeah, that's right.
So it sort of takes a bit of the advantage away from the team that kicked it and also the team that gets the ball. The only advantage of it is it speeds the game up. But the question is, do we need to keep speeding the game up now? Like, when is the game going to be fast enough?
And also, we've seen in the last 5 years the amount of rule changes, and it's like it's coming from like your blueprints of Big Bash and stuff like that. I can see that, and like you look at something like baseball, it hasn't changed in fucking 100 years.
Yeah. Well, the only reason they change rules in other sports like that, like basketball, have minimal rule changes over time, and the only time they do it is when there's a legitimate need for it. Like,
what are the main rules of basketball change? Because they
brought the 3 in the key rule in because there was blokes like Wilt Chamberlain and stuff like that just standing underneath the bucket, and anyone who tried to get near it just got fucking swatted out of the sky.
Yeah, so zone defense they got rid of.
Yeah, so they got rid of that. So the 3 in the key rule was the biggest one, and they bought the
3-pointer wasn't always in, was it?
no, 3-point wasn't always in, but that sort of came and went, and they moved it around for a couple of years in the early days. They moved it in a bit and trialled all that stuff around. But
And what about shot clock? Was that
shot clock originally wasn't a thing, but they didn't need to because they just shot the ball like crazy in the early days. It's sort of when it started getting more structured, they brought that shit in. But like the Hacker Shack rule, where every team's just going out just fouling a player like Shaq, who couldn't shoot free throws at all.
Yeah.
They'd just come out and foul him all day and make him shoot free throws.
So they get the free throw, then they get the ball back.
They get the ball back and then go down the court. So that sort of changed the way they played that. The main one is the 3 and the key. Like, that's what I'm saying. They needed that real change because it was ruining the game, because all you had was 7-2, 7-3 Wilt Chamberlain just not allowing fucking the ball to go in the hoop because he's just standing there swatting the fucking thing away. So not like the NRL where we've got this great product and we just go, you know what? Let's just fucking make a couple of rule changes this year and see how they go for no reason.
Yeah.
It's not like there's something that's fucking over and out destroying the game, and we've got to try and change it.
No, especially when, your scrums, they advantage back on backs attacking, backs attacking on back defense.
And
but
some plays we see off scrums are fucking tremendous.
And it's also, why would they then, they've changed the rule where we can choose where the scrum comes from, and then they advance
minimise
it again.
scrums.
They minimise.
Yeah, it seems weird. Like they're giving you this advantage off the scrum where you can pick where you want to go and all this stuff, but then they've minimised the amount of scrums we can use and stuff. I don't know. It just seems like they're changing rules for the sake of changing rules.
That's right.
But
it's like they've given us Pornhub Plus Premium for 3 months free, and now they're trying to give it for a year. They're just
keep throwing bits at us.
And what's the other main rule that was this year?
The offside penalties are just 6 agains now.
Yep.
So there's just more 6 agains, which gets the ball flowing more. I saw a stat the other day, and I heard it from Aaron Woods was on Triple M's NRL talk show with Mark Geyer, and he said they had the referees come around to each club and help them get to understand the new rules and how they're going to be officiated. And the stat that blew me away was the ball in play from last year to, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. The time the ball is actually spent in play is like 9 or 10 minutes more.
Really?
Yeah, than what it was. So we've sped the game up that much. Like when's there a point where we've got to say, right, this is fast enough. The ball's never going to be in play for 80 minutes, and the human body of these fellas surely can't take much more. Like the injury toll on a lot of these teams is ridiculous.
But it also is, what it's doing is it's reverting the argument about the interchange rule, right? So we can't now change the amount of interchanges, because what it's doing is it's promoting everyone getting exhausted on the field. So I think they don't have to look at that interchange getting lessened now anymore, because everyone's out on their feet.
Yeah, well, if before we sped the game up so much, that was the consensus option. Just drop the interchange and you're going to have more tired bodies out there and it'll open the game up more. But instead we went a different way where we brought the 6 again in, and we went back to the 1 ref, and we're doing all these quick play the balls from kick outs and shit like that. Yeah. So you can't be looking at that dropping the interchange now, because the blokes that are out there at the moment are fucked. They are fucked, especially the big boys in the middle. There's no way you can get those boys who are playing, those fronties that are playing 55, 60 minutes of this game, and then say, we're dropping the interchange, you got to go an extra 10, 15 a game. The body break down straight away.
Oh, yeah. And fucking oath. Especially how... Continue.
Wow.
I just totally lost my train of thought. Mate, I was reading my daughter. I don't know if anyone knows, I've got a bit of a stutter. It comes out sometimes. It comes out with W's, comes out with O's and stuff. I was reading her a Toy Story book, and I apologized to her about 4 times because I couldn't get a couple words. There was this one fucking word, I couldn't get it right.
Was it toy? It's got an O and a W in it.
It was no. But what it was, I forget what it was, but I couldn't get it right, and then I apologized to her. I hear Christy hear me trying to say it. She's laughing. I start tearing up because, like, I can't help but stutter. I don't really, but seriously, I do. But and no, but like, yeah. So
that's why you're a retard.
yeah, I think I'm trying. I try to throw words out there, or I try to talk before my brain catches up.
And then when your brain catches up, goes, bro, you're saying nothing.
Yeah.
You're like,
It's weird because I'm awesome at freestyle and underground. Like when I'm fucking,
Bro, we're gonna put a straight Wu-Tang beat on for you next time we're on the piss. We're gonna get you free. Yeah. It's gonna be hectic.
Yeah.
Do you have the scores from the weekend's game?
Mate, I do. We've got, so obviously Tigers defeat the Seagulls by 75 points.
Shellacking.
Yeah, so we had the 52. The thing about, this is another thing I wanted to ask you, Dane-o, if we're going to do it like a talk show host, like Callum thought that we were, even though he's been on here 5 times and said 7 words. But we've got, I think that the NRL trials is such a good... compared to other sports, it shows it's a great mix of the new and the what's going to be there.
Yeah,
they do it pretty damn well usually,
and they've done it really well this year. Where they've you only got to go back probably 4 or 5 seasons to where you'd have to wait and read the paper the next day to find out these results. So now it's built up as a bit of an event,
televised.
Exactly, televised. You can even the earlier trials, which are pretty much all reserve graders and younger fellas, you can still get them on the streams and stuff, and this has sort of become a weekend to look forward to for a lot of hardcore footy fans, and for blokes, like a lot of blokes I know who play super coach and fantasy and stuff like that. This weekend's like really important for that side of the game as well, for a lot of the real hardcores, and it just brings like to light the amount of young talent that is in the ranks, and blokes that are playing second grade and have been for a while, playing with blokes that are full-time first graders, with blokes that are 18 years old, 17 years old.
Yeah.
It just, it's good. It's good to watch. It's good to see what sides have got in their ranks, and there's always upsets. There's always this and that going on.
Sorry, cut you off. It also shows you how hard it is to make the NRL.
Exactly.
You're
looking at these guys who are freaks,
and they raise to the level of the trial because they want to impress.
Yeah.
And it shows. I remember our boy Buckets.
Yeah.
In a trial for South Sydney, fucking picks up a loose ball, ran 130. Yeah.
He ran from dead ball on to dead ball on, and then back, and then back again. Yeah.
Fucking oath. But it just shows you like what you're up against to even try to get a trial at these clubs. Which makes it, like any sport, it's so amazing. Those top level athletes, it's fucking crazy.
Ridiculous.
That's why I remember like when I was a junior and I'm in some sort of academy, and they're like, oh, who wants to be play for the NRL? Yeah. And obviously everyone's like, I'm definitely gonna. So shut your fucking mouth, loser who's talking to us,
Yeah.
And he's like, well, who wants to be a doctor? And everyone's like, nah. He's like, well, you got a way bigger chance of being a doctor, even though you were all stupid rugby league players.
You dumb meatheads. Yeah, exactly right.
And that's Australian NRL. Imagine other sports.
Yeah, other sports worldwide. Yeah.
So we had the Tigers, the 52-18 at over the Seagulls.
It was a bit of a wild game. There's some really good signs for both sides there. Like Manly, young Josh Schuster played 5'8". He'll play NRL this year, and he'll play lots of it because he is a freak. He's massive freak. Morgan Harper wasn't too bad at the back, and the Tigers just came out and They had a lot stronger side fielded on the day than Manly, and there's positive signs for Tigers fans, even though I don't think they're going to go too well this year. But a lot of young talent coming through. Some of the big boys they brought out, the young fellas. Yeah, amazing. Good
I reckon signs. Going by Seagulls, I reckon the next trial should be against Uruguay, probably.
I'll leave that one right there.
No, but shout out to our boy Righty, who coached Uruguay on the weekend. Went down to, he would have been paying his way down to Sydney to play down there. He met up with our boy Causa.
Yeah, met up with Ollie and a few of the other boys we know from Sydney way. So it's good.
And then the result didn't go their way, but obviously a lot of hard work from a lot of distance. He can only do what he can do. But shout out to Wright, man. That's why I wanted him on here tonight to talk about it. But
by all accounts, it was a good day. From everything I saw, I watched a lot of the stories from chasing kangaroos and stuff like that. Yeah. And it seemed like a good day. There's a few games of footy there, and under 19s game as well, or something like that. So
I know on Twitter, Joe Scully loves Uruguay Rugby League was trending a fair bit. But
put that shit on a t-shirt.
nah, but congrats, Righty. We love you, mate. And when you get back on here, you can get back on here. Well, I know I miss you because I got nothing for rugby league, but and then we had Roosters defeating the Raiders by 26-20.
Yeah, the Raiders were up at half time, and they were looking pretty good. Then a whole host of reserve graders came on.
How did Walker go?
Walker was very good. Came off the bench, and it was very good, very good.
Yeah. He says he's put on weight. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he
looks light, bro.
Yeah, he was a rake before.
Yeah.
Like a fucking rake. But no, he looked very good. If you were Lachlan Lamb, you'd be sweating on holding onto your jersey at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
he was very impressive, and the Roosters are keen as on him, and they seem.
Oh, so is Lockie Lamb the other one in the run-in?
Well, Lockie Lamb's the 7 they've said they're starting with for the season, but they've also got Adam Kieran. They just brought over from the Warriors, who's a halfback, can play a bit of centre, so. He's another depth signing. So between the three of them, they'll hash it out. But I don't think it's long before Walker makes his debut and kills it, because he was very good off the bench. The Raiders had promising signs too. Hudson Young was good. He had good back row. He'll probably fill that John Bateman back row spot. So it's between him and Herawira Naira. But Naira's suspended for X amount of time for his low-range drink driving charge.
Yeah.
But they got a couple of good options to fill that spot. Both teams look pretty good. It was a pretty good quality game. Roosters,
How low range was his drink drive?
I don't know. There was 2 of them in the same week, so it was Corey Horsburgh.
Because lucky the Cos went on the Bruce on the way home.
Yeah,
this week
the whole of the Mitchie one side blows over.
Fuck, bro. I broke so late so many times, but Jake and Clint freaking. I'm just like, I've got this covered, boys. It's all right.
Just relax, bro. Like,
yeah.
If you want to see someone...
Just chill. Did you see
shit.
the creatine I just did, man?
So wake me up.
Yeah. Nath said he got out of the hotel and slept in the car for 6 hours or something.
I don't think he had a choice, because he was frizzled like when we woke up. And
it's because he told that fucking roof story about 10 times that night.
Yeah, I think it was easily.
I wanted to see fucking Hilly the next day.
Right, Hilly. I don't know how he did it.
He's
good.
Yeah.
We'll get into those stories later.
Melbourne defeated Newcastle 30-10.
10, yeah. Newcastle were not bad. They're just missing Ponga. Tex Hoy's playing there at the moment. He's not playing too badly. Like, he showed signs, but missing Ponga's a massive loss. Jaden Brayley looked good at hooker. Back from his ACL injury, had a year off to have a look at the new rules and see how he wants to play the game, but look really good. But yeah, Melbourne were good. Big news about Harry Grant's come out of it with an MCL injury. He'll be gone for a couple of weeks.
Thank God it's not an ACL though.
Yeah, I think they said 3 weeks. So 5 weeks. He'll be back around 3.
MCL is usually just the lock leg for a bit, and then they get back running again.
Yeah. So that was probably the biggest loss. The Melbourne have also just confirmed that Dale Finucane tore his calf at training, so there's another bit of a loss to their forward pack. So it looks like Brandon Smith's going to play some extra minutes to start the season and stuff like that. So.
And what about this, Dane-o? So we got Hughes rejecting massive offers from Warriors. What's the deal there?
He was linked to the Warriors as soon as they found out Tuivasa Sheck was going to rugby union. They sort of started just looking around for a bit of a hand up to fill that spot. And they've engaged Hughes, who was an ex-fullback at Melbourne, and he sort of came out straight away and just got in the back foot and said, no.
Ex-fullback. Now he's a oh no, it already says fullback. The joke was going to be if it was halfback, I was going to be more like fullback because he's so fucking fat now. But
yeah, nice one, dickhead.
Yeah, man, I'll cut that out later. It'll be the first edit we ever do.
But no, he came out straight away on the back pedal and said he'd rather stay at Melbourne for less money. And then they threw big money at him. I think they were throwing 800-ish at him, and it was then as soon as anyone throws that much money at someone, the whole world goes, oh, he's going for sure. And then he inked his name with Melbourne as he said he would, and that was pretty much end of story. So good on him for sticking to his guns, and he's one of the smart ones. Like a lot of blokes leave Melbourne and turn to rubble, so just being in that culture, and it's not like they're going downhill anytime soon. They've still got Munster and Brandon Smith's coming up, Harry Grant, Christian Welsh. They're stacked. Pappenhausen, they're stacked still. Yeah. So I don't see any reason to chase that money when you could be getting half decent wicket where you are and winning games. So
yeah, true. We got a lot of chat about and a lot of response about who we were talking about Thurston and remember last week's chat? What was it between
Thurston, Lockyer and Cronk?
Yeah, a lot of people had their own opinions on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that Cronk was totally out of the question.
Well, they're wrong.
But is Cronk back helping Melbourne?
Yeah, he is. There's a photo surfaced today of him working with Munster, which is a scary thought. If Munster can... Munster's always been that great ball runner, and he's got wicked good vision for these obscure plays like in the Origin, double kick to himself, wrap around, kick to the winger, all that sort of shit. If he can stick with a plan that Cooper Cronk gives him, something like to help him pick up his back rower a bit more often and to get the team to spots where he wants to be, just to set himself up a bit more, he's going to be fucking unstoppable. Yeah. Because
Cronk's like, you got to shape your bed to the same, like to the moon's trajectory and stuff like that as well.
Every night,
got to create a website.
Yeah. Oh, it just imagine if like Munster does it off the back of nothing a lot of the time. Imagine if he could push the park to a spot he wanted, and then bang, fuck it. He killed.
Munster doesn't. He's just like, he's like, jump on the back. We'll just get there.
Exactly. He's a freak. Absolute freak.
We got the Broncos pub fight. Did you read that one?
No, I haven't seen it.
So we got we got a couple of Broncos. A Broncos ledge, Chris Johns, and Johnny Cartwright got into a bit of a tussle in a pub. Yeah, on the weekend. Supposedly the coaches had to break him up.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it says Brisbane Broncos coach Kevin Walters shut down claims of a rift at Red Hill after a report of a pub altercation between his assistant coach John Cartwright and club legend Chris Johns.
Jesus.
Yeah, but they said what it was more of a wrestle, but people jumped in on it and made it look worse than it was.
Typical. Just let the boys play, you know.
Yeah,
Chris Johns actually lives about 150 metres from me.
Yeah, he'll be on the podcast next week talking about this incident.
He owns Chris Johns owns Hoppy's car wash.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he owns all the Hoppies. He's
usually they say car washes are always just for money laundering.
Pretty much always, and there's a Hoppies. They're in weird locations.
Yeah.
Like they make like the one
like the south side.
Yeah, and the one on the north side's on Abbotsford Road, right next where the brothel is at Bowen Hills. It's parked right next to the brothel.
Yeah,
it means they share the same.
It usually
block.
Stands for my money's hopping straight offshore. That's where I'm keeping
legit.
It.
And these shipping containers, there's not cleaning products only. Those products are going to fucking my mate Chad and Logan, and he's got a den
Clint. Only joking, Clint. You don't do drugs, but And then we got another big news, and I heard this today because me and Sal were obviously talking, and they're thinking of starting, and back to our Broncos talk, mate. But we're thinking about Croft getting named over Dearden.
They came out and said it. There was talk after the game from media outlets saying Croft had a blinder, and a lot of people were saying that Dearden played all right, but just struggled to get the team around the park. So. I don't know. They're gonna play Milford. They're not gonna leave him out at $1 million.
Yeah, so but we've got Milford.
Yeah,
and then we got Dearden.
Yeah, I know.
So that's the other thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I see.
Croft played sweet in a fucking trial.
Yeah,
man. He also played sweet at trials for Melbourne as well.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. Everyone it's almost a consensus that Tom Dearden is the option. But there was also a bit more of a conspiracy style of theory that last week Dearden went up north. He was in North Queensland talking to North Queensland Cowboys staff and touring a few facilities because he's off contract at the end of the season. So some people thinking it might have something to do with that. It was him shopping himself around. Maybe the Broncos are not a bit unhappy with him for thinking about up and getting out. But either way, like, fuck,
Bro,
we need to win games
fuck,
now,
man.
bro.
Either way, if you're a rugby league player and you're putting your body on the line and you know you've got a fucking career that's going to last for 30 until you're like 30, if you're lucky, not everyone's fucking Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
You need to have options on the tables when your contract finishes.
Exactly.
And if they haven't shown that didn't. 100%, you're our franchise halfback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like
they need to just get him in. Like, it's seriously the consensus that he's the option, and it's not gonna change anytime soon. From what he's shown so far in the NRL, and for what he's shown everywhere else he's ever played, it's clear to us. He's a good managing half, which is what we need. And the Broncos need to win.
You know what he also does? Is he puts his body in front of tackles.
Yeah.
You know what Brody Croft does? He shoots to get himself out of tackles.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to hit. Well,
and I'm talking about Brody. Brody Croft is a fucking good player. He's playing at elite level. But what we've seen of him, the way that he shoots, I think it's to get himself out of situations.
Brody Croft makes decent league tackles when he has to, but Tom Dearden Tom Dearden's debut was against South Sydney, and they played on the Friday night in Brisbane, and Sam Burgess ran at him about 14 times. And Dearden just stood in front of him and took it every time and took the big bastard down.
Yeah.
Literally, Sam Burgess, one of the hardest men ever to play rugby league, and just took it every time. Fucking, as an 18-year-old kid, that's tough.
Yeah, and human growth is a bitch, man, to try to tackle.
Bro.
You know, like,
ridiculous. We just need, but the thing with the Broncos is they need to win games now. And if we're serious about winning games, we need a halfback who's just going to steer the ship, and let all the creative shit to someone else. We don't need Brody Croft in there trying 180% to do too much. Dearden knows that all his job is to get us around the park, kick the ball well, and we'll be right. And let Milford fucking live or die by his sword, and all the other outside backs do what they do. But fuck, I don't know. I don't know with the Broncos anymore. I just don't know.
Well, it's all good. It's easy to talk about them because we're on the fucking bottom of it. There's a lot to talk about there. But it's funny. We were talking about this on the weekend about Seabolt, mate. There was a lot of chat because we had some insides. We won't mention, but
a few scoops.
Yeah, a few scoops about how a lot of people didn't like the way that Seabolt run the ship. And it kind of makes sense in hindsight when we look back.
Yeah. Well, it's always all this shit comes out after the fact. You know? Doesn't matter what the situation is, it's always an after the fact sort of thing. Once Trent Barrett left Manly, everyone after the fact, all these things came out, and it's one of those things. You're never gonna get away with anything without it coming, and even when it does come, a lot of the time it might not even be the truth. So all this stuff can just fizzle out.
Yeah.
And, who knows? Siebes has moved himself down to Newcastle and got to roll with his mate down there, Mr. Adam O'Brien. So
yeah, probably putting girls on the spit with old Mitch Pearce.
Fuck. There's been worse places.
What's happening with him? Is he still with his missus, or?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you still with your missus after how much you cheated on the weekend, or?
I don't know how you think you're going to keep getting away with saying that shit, you know?
Oh man, that fucking video. We should post that on Any Given Mondays. You and Ivesy dancing, Ivesy with his shirt on.
Yeah, shirtless Ivesy. And then
I was looking for in the background to just see the fox asleep, leaning against the wall.
Oh,
but we couldn't get it.
Good. Yeah, there was some real good times.
Yeah.
I once we came home and we saw Hilly sitting on his chair on the front porch of their hotel room with his eyes open, sleeping.
Yeah.
It was horrendously terrifying.
I remember I paid $75 for Nathan to show me a bag of cocaine and then just put it back in his pocket. So, cheers, Nathan. Just tell us the roof story.
Yeah, just shut up, tell us the roof story. Nathan was hanging out with that chick all night who had a boyfriend, and her boyfriend was there.
Yeah.
And he's just trying so hard to get with this, and her boyfriend's sitting like right there. This was the weirdest situation.
And I heard the
I'd ever
boyfriend
been in.
put in $65 and got more than I did. So, lucky the kid was there giving it out for free because he's on the decks. But, yeah, man. That
Big weekend.
Yeah, shout out to the Dewporth at the sunny coast. You're talking, during the day, you're talking TAB lovers plus crackheads.
Yeah.
And then as it gets into the night, like zombies, mate, the crackheads slowly will go out.
Move
They
out,
go
yeah.
out to there, and then
So mid-afternoon, you can expect, just still some strangly crackheads hanging around. A few TAB lovers still putting in their last pension, just trying to finish their last few pots they've just ordered. And then you get few little people coming in for dinner around that 5 o'clock mark, 5:30. But then by 7 o'clock, she's emptied out and it's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
oh, bro,
Some of the quality walking around was exceptional.
yeah, some of those guys were hot
Yeah,
as, man.
really good looking dudes. I was looking in the mirror most of the time, but good looking fellas,
Wait, another thing is, before I forget, is that we're talking about Ponga and about names on the back of jerseys. He thinks they should be on the back on club jerseys.
Yeah,
I'm 100% behind that. I
Me
reckon
too.
it's sick.
It's a great idea, and it'll just bring another aspect to the personal brand side of the game that we've gone into. Like,
And also, I'm 33, don't say sick, but I'll edit that one out as well.
gangster dog. No, but like
Prospecto 1, y'all.
Oh, grow up. But yeah, no, the way the game's going these days, the way players are going, it's all about building their personal brand. Like people out there, like Josh Adokar, he's made himself into something just by living his personality and stuff like that. A lot of the blokes in the NRL now, like Chad Townsend, does his video logs and all that, and he builds his own brand.
You got the cheese,
and
man.
these guys are going and getting their own sponsors, and everyone's building these fucking things. People are doing their own little businesses.
I was saying this to Jarrell on the weekend. If you put a mic in front of Cheese and Mutts, they do a weekly podcast. It's the top podcast, the top rugby league podcast in Australia.
Oh, exactly.
And Jarrell said something good. He goes, I think he said something like, "That's always there." And I don't think they need that yet. Obviously, they don't. But he goes, individually, they could have the top one.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it just like the way it goes is once you've got yourself a personal brand that people want to look at, people want to buy into. Imagine if you had the numbers on the jerseys, and you're a person like Kalen Ponga, he's got the most followers out of anyone in the NRL and Instagram and Facebook. He's unlike any superstar the NRL's ever seen. He's just so popular with so many different people. Old people love him, young people love him, chicks froth him, like everyone loves him. Imagine if there's game worn Kalen Ponga jerseys with Ponga written on the back.
Oh, that's right. To buy, 100%.
There's young players coming in like with Tuivasa-Sheck. He's doing his retirement run.
Imagine
you getting a Tuivasa-Sheck
bro, imagine if you had
jersey.
just saying your cupboard, I've got a Fui Moi Moi jersey.
Oh,
that shit like
I've
that.
got an
bro.
09 Hayne jersey up in here.
I got a Tallis jersey that I fucking wank into and use it as a cum rag because he's such a cocksucker off the field. But
yeah, and I'm scared of him.
yeah, but don't listen to this because I'm real scared of you. But
yeah, fuck, just imagine it. Imagine it'd be so sick. And I know there's the only reason that it is obviously money, like costs money to do it, and it's
it does. But like,
but in saying
we're talking iron-ons here. You know,
we're not talking fucking.
And it also costs money to change designs every single year that they do to get money from people buying them.
They use so many different fucking jerseys anyway, and it's not like people are fucking changing jersey numbers radically and shit like that. Like a lot of the time, someone in the number 1 jersey for a team will hold it pretty much all year. So and even then, once the sides are named on a Tuesday, you name your side 1 to 21.
Yeah.
And then that's your number. So even if I'm wearing number 1 and I get ruled out, it's not like the number 1 jersey is going to be used by a different name. They'll bring number 18 in to play one.
That's right.
So even if on every Tuesday, one person from the team irons the letters on, bang, done.
Like, remember how much money they made off of Haynes' jersey for the 49ers? And what was it, number 38, yeah?
Yeah.
Number 38, Haynes.
Ridiculous.
And,
it was one of the best-selling NFL jerseys that season. It
Yeah.
went fucking ballistic. And that was all just for a personal brand. People fucking... All the Australians bought it. Everyone loved Jared Hayne. In America, people were like, "Oh, Jared Hayne." Just fucking into it, bro. Loved it.
They're like, oh yeah, this guy that dropped the ball 4 times and then got cut.
He had 3 good returns. He's a fucking gangster.
But still made the NRL, which was NFL, which was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
yeah.
No, I agree with Ponga.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. And you know, when we talk about other sports, it's like I don't think so. We in NFL we see it. In basketball we see it now. They're able to choose though whether they wear their name or some sort of piece.
Like Black Lives Matter sort of thing.
Yeah. White Lives Matter.
They can
stuff
do
like that.
They can do some sort
Asian
of
Lives Matter. Mexican Lives Matter. I've seen.
They do it.
It had a taco at the end of it.
Ole. They do just like some sort of positive.
Yeah.
Positive memo, or they used to always be names, but positive memo. In the NBA, they choose their jersey numbers and shit like that. Just adds to their brand.
Yeah,
shit like that. Like,
but also like compared to them, our jerseys are covered with sponsors. So we look like Daytona race cars out there. Compared, and then you got NFL and that where it's clean.
Yeah,
MLB clean as,
No,
and it's just their names and their number.
It's because the NBA have like NBA, NFL. Like all these soccer teams, they have that much money. It's ridiculous.
what's the biggest money making sporting league in America? What do you reckon?
Money make it'd be the NBA.
No, it's the NFL.
Is it?
Yeah,
on average.
Yeah, it's
on an average. Surely not. The NFL have like 52 blokes in a squad. Surely the average money isn't that big.
No, I'm talking how much the NFL as a company makes.
As a
company.
Right. I thought you meant like average. Average salary
no. The NFL as a company,
well, just Super Bowl day, they'd make squillions.
Yeah,
and then the
you
Pro
got J-Lo
Bowl
and Shakira shaking in a ass shake off. Are you serious?
I can get that.
I was at home that day and I went masturbated straight away. I was like, okay, they're doing a twerk off. This is I've seen everything. I've fucking seen everything now.
Best day of
and Shakira won, man. Shakira won,
because her hips don't lie, bro.
Yeah,
they don't lie at all.
Yeah.
They tell the truth, actually.
Yeah, but love don't cost a thing.
But I don't know. I don't need to spend nothing just to know that them hips don't lie.
But who would do? So there's 2 there.
Oh,
who are you going?
Like now, currently, or
currently.
in prime?
So we're talking. I think J-Lo's 52 and 51, and I think Shakira's now 43.
Oh, you're pretty cool to say you're a 51-year-old, just 52-year-old J-Lo, but
yeah,
probably.
And also, if Alex
still
Rodriguez is watching, that's pretty sweet. Give us some of those roids.
Yeah, hook us up. Bro.
Yeah.
Nah, but that's a tough decision. Probably Shakira. Shakira's got it going on. I don't know. I like that shit.
Yeah. Well, talking about old as shit athletes, thanks heaps, Clint, for the weekend. We really appreciate it. Thanks to our boys, our Ivesy. Thanks for fucking Jakey, even though the biggest pest.
Biggest pest of the weekend. He won.
Nah, it was great.
Pest on ground for sure.
I think he got it back because that barbecue that he was trying to cook on was even more of a pest than him. But
I can only imagine.
Yeah. But things like that are so fucking good, especially in that we're only, the level we're playing open ones, and we fucking put together a preseason camp that was sick off the rail.
Pretty sick. It was fucking good. The next day, it sucked
highlight rail.
Dicks, but
bro, I wasn't happy.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like even today, I'm still I'm on the edge.
Yeah, I don't see the point of it.
On the way over here, I was driving and I saw a power pole and I was like, I better not. I was going to end it.
That tree that I showed you came down. I was trying to get underneath it before it did. I was
yesterday in the floods. I was like holding a brick trying to go under, but then I kept hitting this bridge. It popped me out of the water every time. I was like,
because I have a suicidal note in my bedside table and it just says, Deer Lake and Christie, I did a West Mitchie preseason, and that's it. And it's a love. And there's a photo of my penis half erect because I don't want it looking too big, and I don't want it looking too small.
And if you full chub up, they can tell it's hard. If you just get it half, just get it a bit bloody. You know, it's a bit.
But I know Sully was fucking spewing. He wasn't there with us, especially after the Fox stories. But we got to get your boy on, guys. Next week.
At some point.
If he messages me back, oi guy, message me back, bruh. But
who's off you, bro?
Yeah, but we got our new intro and we're out on this shit.
Gangster.
So let's you got to take us out now on this bull.
Oh, it's tight. Shout out to y'all, everyone. Shout out to Freedy, bro. Straight up, new intro is fucking dope.
Oh, bro. Callum's paying it out.
I know. Callum's an old school sort of bloke. That he
I've been
likes
driving to work listening to it like it's a fucking Eminem track.
I just had when I sleep, I just have it really, really low in my ears because it's just so gangster. It just fucking rocks me. So good. Right. It's fucking gangster. Cal's one of those old school sort of dudes.
Yeah.
He likes
Cal's
his meat
like,
and
I
veg
could have
and
some
that's
more
it.
Slim Dusty style kind of shit,
Yeah.
like wobbly boot, you know? Fucking me.
No, it's fucking...
Wobble this dick in your mouth, cunt.
Yeah, and throw a pill to someone's chest, please. Shout out to the sponsors straight up. Our sponsors are killing it. Overexertion.
Well,
Mates
Brick Lane's
merchandise.
fucking killing it because I know they've got so much stockpile because we haven't been able to get to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brick Lane's been, thanks heaps. So yeah, OE, but I just wanted to shout out Brick Lane because I'm seeing Steely this week.
Good to go.
I know he's a great bloke and Brick Lane does a bit better than the blokes, but
yeah. Shout out to the West Mitchie Footy Club for looking after us, for Clint for taking us up the coast, Jakey, Hilly, Ivesy, Giraffe for hooking us up with his bloke in a bar beer. Go check that out as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Berg, still killing it with the Brazil Rugby League, still running that bookmo mentality.
Yeah, and shout out to Righty just for the time he donates for that Uruguay stuff. It's all his own time.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on those fucking shirts we paid for, but we'll get them, I know, right? And congrats on the weekend, and now
shout out to the listeners too. Keep listening in. Jump on and let us know what you think about the new intro. We might even just post it as a video. Post the intro soundtrack so y'all can jump on, give us a reaction. Let's see what you think. But we really appreciate it, and we'll be back next week. Make sure you don't be a mercenary and stick to your guns. We'll talk to you in a week.
Boom.